This episode of Destructoid is brought to you by Netflix. Coming up on Destructoid, Prey 2 may have a new home at Arkane. Kojima is ready to share Snake's sexy voice. And Blizzard's Project Titan may be getting the reboot treatment. All that and more right now on Destructoid Live. Welcome to Destructoid. I'm Tara Long.
And I'm Anthony Carboni, in for Max Scoville, who ran off after a weird-looking bird he saw in the parking lot this morning.
That guy.
No one has heard from him since.
Always chasing weird animals. I'm sorry I bit your finger, by the way.
I'm not.
Okay, good. So before we get started on this very Max Scoville free episode, we have an awesome giveaway today. We have 2 Steam codes for The Swapper, which is a sci-fi puzzle game with a cloning mechanic that adds some very interesting elements to the game's many, many puzzles. It's also got a stunning art style, as you can see, that's modeled after claymation. It's awesome. This game has been getting rave reviews pretty much everywhere. It's got a rare 10 out of 10 on Destructoid.com. So if you want to win one of our 2 Steam codes, all you have to do is tweet, "I'm watching at Detoid Show" at youtube.com/Detoid for a chance to win at the Swapper game on Steam.
Tweets are easy to say.
Yes, they are. So we're going to announce the winners at the end of the show, so make sure you're following us so we can actually DM you your code. Otherwise, this was all in vain. So, on to the news. Blizzard made a shocking announcement recently when they revealed that Titan, that secret MMO they've been working on for years now, has been pushed back to 2016.
What?
Yeah, which is like 8 billion years in gamer time, give or take. It's never actually been officially announced by Blizzard, oddly enough, but Titan was slated to be their next big moneymaker behind World of Warcraft, which has lost almost a third of its subscriber base over the last 2 years.
That's really weird because they added pandas, and you'd think that would bring everybody.
I know, you would think so, but alas, no. And actually, it started declining a little bit once they added that 20, like free up until level 20 thing. I would have thought that would have boosted subscribers, but maybe not. Maybe people are just getting to level 20 and then getting bored of it.
Panda-hating quitters.
Panda-hating quitters. So websites are now reporting that Blizzard plans to completely scrap Project Titan and start anew. They've allegedly reassigned over 2/3 of its development team to other projects, while the core team is going to start fresh, which is really depressing when you think about it.
That's always a good sign. It's always a good sign when something is in development for like 5 years and teams get scrapped and it just gets started all over.
Great news.
Things are going to go really well, I think.
When asked for a comment, Blizzard spokesman Sean Damron said, quote, "We've always had a highly iterative development process, and the unannounced MMO is no exception. We've come to a point where we need to make some large design and technology changes to the game. We're using this opportunity to shift some of our resources to assist with other projects, while the core team adapts our technology and tools to accommodate these new changes." So hey, at least they technically acknowledge that it's a thing that exists.
Well, that's the thing, is like, I think it's so silly. Can we talk about how silly it is that they're like, there is no MMO, we're not working on an MMO, but we'd like to make an official statement about what's going on with the MMO. Okay, guys. So, since Max is out, it's only fitting that we've got Metal Gear news. Suck it, Max. I get to give the Metal Gear news today. A brief trailer got uploaded to GameSpot yesterday, teasing Konami's pre-E3 event next week with the question of who will be the voice of Snake?
Dun, dun, dun.
And due to my investigative journalism skills, I've figured out that means we're going to figure out who the voice of Snake is next week.
Really? I did not gather that.
If you haven't been following the news, the voice of Snake in upcoming Metal Gears has been garnering quite a lot of debate and or free marketing, depending on your perspective. Following Kojima's GDC talk, longtime Snake actor David Hayter made waves by publicly suggesting that he would not be in Metal Gear Solid 5. Of course, a bunch of us were just kind of like, oh, Kojima, what are you doing with your Kojima theater?
Classic Kojima.
That's so Kojima. Like that whole Moby Dick Studios walking thing. He knows how to use theater.
I was so hoping Zach would show this clip.
I love him. And I mean, Hayter just tweeted out something that lets us know that, hey, it's probably some Kojima theater that we're looking at here. Anyway, all will be revealed next Thursday, and by all, I mean probably almost nothing, because once again, Kojima, but at least we will know who the goddamn voice actor is.
Yeah, at least. Man, that first tweet he sent out was so, depressing. It was like when somebody breaks up with you online and you're the last person to find out.
Look, I think that was the equivalent. If he really is the voice, that tweet was the equivalent of going on Facebook and pretending you have cancer.
It was.
You know what I mean? Just to get our sympathy, because we rallied behind him.
Yeah, I remember a lot of people were upset about that, Max included. Interesting. Guess we'll see how that turns out. So, Prey 2 has been in development hell for over 5 years now. We actually haven't talked about it in a while for that reason. But according to a recent vicious rumor that's probably true, the game has transferred development from Human Head Studios over to Arkane, which, as you know, are the guys who made Dishonored, which we both loved.
Yes.
Kotaku reported the rumor this morning, which has been independently confirmed by other sources close to the matter, saying that Bethesda has been trying desperately to take Human Head Studios off the project and then shopping it around to other developers. Man, that looks good. I forgot how good this looked. Rebellion Entertainment has allegedly turned down the offer to develop it previously, while Obsidian, the guys who made Fallout New Vegas, have actually spent a few months working on it before giving up, which basically forced Bethesda to pawn it off on Arkane.
Wow.
Yeah, a source at Human Head Studios said that they didn't actually know about the fate of Prey 2 until recently, when Bethesda told them after a year of limbo that the project was going to be canceled. They then announced that development would be taken over by Arkane's Austin studio, who plans to scrap all of Human Head's work and start over with a target release date of late 2016.
Wow.
Boy, that's...
At what point, especially after starting over again and changing hands so many times, at what point do you go, you know what?
Let's lay off
We're good. We're good without Prey 2.
Well, people are saying that they worked so hard to get the rights for it that it seems like useless to just abandon it already. So, I don't know. I don't know what's going on. Obviously, if these rumors are true, it's a totally shitty situation all around. And in fact, several of Arkane's employees really don't seem too happy about it either. According to Kotaku source, the higher-ups at Arkane just told their team to forget that it's called Prey 2 and just treat it like a new System Shock.
Now, see, there are two things that I'm really interested in. Even if Arkane is not super interested in this, I love Arkane.
I do.
I loved Dishonored. I love System Shock. This all kind of sounds really good to me.
Yeah, there's sort of a silver lining here.
Yeah, I'm sorry that everybody's so bummed, but this sounds like a really good situation.
I mean, let's not let Prey 2 become another Aliens Colonial Marines, can we?
Duke Nukem or any of these things. Hey, Council of 12, get out your decoder ring and turn it to B12. It's time for your Vita news break. Back in February, we learned that Sony would be allowing Vita Remote Play for the PS4, and now 3 months later, a developer has come out and said that not only is Sony allowing it, they're making it mandatory for almost all PS4 games. The developer told Eurogamer that all PS4 titles will be required to include this functionality, aside from those that already use the new PS4i. If this turns out to be true, that's a pretty major leverage point for the Vita, right? I'm into it.
Maybe your Council of 12 will become a Council of 13.
13 or 14, probably. Ignoring how many systems the Wii U has actually shipped, it's generally understood that the off-TV play is one of its best features. So to see Sony require this feature is pretty cool, assuming it's not a barrier to entry for developers. Hey, can I just say something? Can I put one thing out there?
Go.
Make it go the other way, too. Let me play my Vita games on my TV.
Oh, I sort of thought that's what they were.
No, it's PS4 on your Vita.
Oh, I thought it could go both ways already. Man,
I wish it could go both ways.
I'm disappointed now.
I like my consoles to have very permissive practices.
Well, that's like what, I guess it's kind of like what Smart Glass is, but more fully functional, I guess. It's like what the Wii U does.
It's the Wii U gamepad, yeah. And while we're talking about the Vita, Sony has finally announced a release date for Limbo, June 4th, next Tuesday. Because early June, not a busy time for gamers or anything.
Not at all.
But do not let this one slip by you. I will say between this and the upcoming releases of Spelunky and Luftrausers, the Council is pleased as the Vita takes one more step towards world domination.
I wish I could join your club, but I don't really want a Vita yet. I mean, I wouldn't turn one down.
I just want to come to the meetings. I don't want to be a member.
I just want to be a part of
I
something.
like the social aspect.
Exactly.
Buy a Vita.
Oh, I'm sorry. I will, eventually, when someone gives it to me. So, movies are great, right? You like movies.
I love movies.
I love movies.
My stars.
Yeah, if you don't like movies, then A, you're wrong, and B, there's probably a good chance that you haven't experienced Netflix yet, because it's the easiest way to watch them. It streams your favorite TV episodes and movies right to your home, saving you time, money, and the awful emotional torture of dealing with a cable company. They're the worst. All you need to get started with Netflix is a Netflix-enabled device, and you can instantly start streaming unlimited shows and movies. You can watch them on your PC or Mac, or whatever video game console you have, assuming it's this gen. So they've even got exclusive content as well, like the 4th season of Arrested Development,
Oh my God.
which I'm sure you've been marathoning.
So good.
Yes. That is something that can only be watched on Netflix, so remember that. Titles are subject to availability, of course, and for a limited time, you can get a free trial membership just by signing up at netflix.com/Destructoid. And remember, this is not limited to just US viewers either. So Europe, get on that. Again, the address is netflix.com/Destructoid.
Back to the show.
Back to the show.
So I am a self-professed Double Fine nerd.
You are.
Fan.
It's sickening, actually.
I love it. Hey, you love them too.
I do. I love Tim Schafer.
Don't
more,
put up,
more
don't
than
put
their
up a
games.
front, man. You're in love with them.
I love Tim
So they've got this new Kickstarter. Super excited about it. They launched it this week for their new strategy game, Massive Chalice. The project is being led by Brad Muir, who's previously worked on other Double Fine games like Psychonauts, and he was the designer of Iron Brigade. Massive Chalice is going to be inspired by classic tactical strategy games like XCOM and Final Fantasy Tactics, but the key difference is that it takes place over the course of several lifetimes. And it does so many cool things. So you play as like this immortal king or queen, and you control a kingdom of warriors who fight for you, and they gain experience, and then they eventually die, and they leave their offspring in their place with very similar traits. So there's like bloodlines that you've got to mix and mingle, and you get like,
They said it was inspired by the Game of Thrones, like, bloodlines or something. I was
love
like,
it.
okay.
It looks so cool. There's also some kind of demonic threat, and sources tell us that there is a kind of massive chalice involved.
Really?
Yeah, a very large chalice at the very
Yes.
least. As is often the case with Kickstarter, details are slim. No actual gameplay has been shown because they're very early on. Even so, something tells me Double Fine will not have any problems getting funding with this. As of this taping, $565,000 has already been raised. The goal is $725,000. Yeah, you know, and a few people have been like, kind of ball achy about them starting a second Kickstarter before.
Oh, when they haven't finished the first one yet?
Yeah.
They addressed that in the video, which, by the way, is hilarious.
It's such a good video.
It's such a good
But the other
video.
thing is, like, we've been getting weekly updates from them about their other ones, so it's
Yeah.
like, dude, they're coming.
They're a pretty big studio. I think they can handle more than one game at once.
I would love to see more studios doing it feels like they're trying to move to almost entirely Kickstarter and just not even deal with publishers and everything anymore. I would
honestly,
love that.
they have such a dedicated fan base. They could literally make a game about a piece of poop, and they could get funding for that.
It would
they
be
could get
charming
$1
as hell.
million. It
A
would
Double
be
Fine
charming.
game about poop?
Yeah, adventure game. What now? I'm right here, Kickstarter. All right, so there are questions we have from the audience. I actually haven't even looked at this sheet yet. 1 million people have apparently been asking why you are not wearing a Hawaiian shirt.
Because I'm not Max Scoville? You're thinking of Max Scoville, who wears the Hawaiian shirts.
Yes, that is Max Scoville, who is out because of birds. So, out at times, I don't know.
Out of time. It's the license plate from the DeLorean on Back to the Future.
Oh, okay. Have you heard any news on the BioShock Infinite DLC?
I heard
have
it's going to be
not.
downloadable.
All right, then. You heard it here first, folks. That is an exclusive piece of news.
We've heard nothing.
148 Simmons says, I'm not surprised Blizzard delayed Titan. Didn't people have to wait 10 years for StarCraft 2?
Yeah.
Yeah. Hey,
How
who
long was
remembers
it between-
StarCraft Ghost? Anyone?
How long was it between Diablos? 2 and
10
3?
years.
Yeah, 10 years.
At least, I think.
So, you know, they're,
Yup.
they're still going on their regular timeline.
Clear Metal Voltar said Snake should have a Duke Nukem voice. They should,
Be so
honestly,
good.
Gearbox should just sell the rights to Duke Nukem, but only his voice, and they should use it in everything they possibly can.
One of those novelty electronic keychains like you used to get at the mall
Yeah,
that says different
seriously.
phrases.
Oh man, that's depressing. So let's see. $50 said can't wait for Portable Spelunky.
Portable Spelunky is going to change my life.
Oh, do you know Timothy Baddeley? He said, I love our secret Council of 12 meetings.
I cannot comment one way or the other if I know Timothy or if we go to secret meetings together and what the nature of the Council of 12 is.
Yep. Oh, we have contest winners also. Great. I think this person actually won last week. We have Xe Lubest, Lube Street. XE Lube Street, and Kentucky Fried Cat, which is an awesome
That's a
street
good
name.
one.
Yes, that is
You did good.
Yeah, so we will get in touch with you guys over Twitter, like I said, to make sure that you're following us so you can actually redeem your codes. And I believe that is all the time we have for today. Before we go, I do want to Is that necessary?
No,
Okay.
nothing I do ever is.
It's true. I do want to make a quick plug for a brand new network that we just launched here at Revision 3 called Test Tube, which is all about the science of curiosity. You actually have a show on there, don't you, Anthony?
I do. I have a couple. I've got D News, which is a daily science news show, and then I have Nature Hates You, which every episode we look at one aspect of the world around us, like rain, and then explain to you why it wants you dead and how it's looking to kill you at every turn.
Boy, that's particularly relevant now, I think.
Yeah.
All the terrible weather we've been having lately.
Are you bantering with me right now?
I am
Are we about to
bantering
talk
with you.
about the weather?
We are. I was actually going to mention the other show that I think is so cool on Test Tube, which is Distort, which is this. It's literally a show built around a slow motion camera,
Yeah.
and they do all kinds of crazy things with it. The episode that just came out today, David Prager intentionally got stung by a scorpion.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, slowed down
And
to
filmed it in slow
3,500
motion.
frames a second.
Yes. That was awesome.
Oh, it looks nasty.
So yeah, if that sounds like something you might be interested in, do yourself a favor and check out testtube.com. Of course, while you're on the internet over there, maybe, Anthony and I can both be found on Twitter. I am Tara Longest. You are Anthony Carboni. And the show,
Carboni.
A Carboni.
But the A does
yes.
stand for
Sorry,
Anthony.
I was gonna say, well, the show's Detroit Show. I was gonna say I looked up the Carboni Twitter account.
Oh, I was so mad that guy's had it forever.
Dude, it turns out there's some actually really great tips there on how to lose an obscenely unhealthy amount of weight in just a single month.
Huh.
Is Carrie short for Carboni? I don't know.
I don't know.
I don't know.
Oh, but good weight loss. That guy actually seems like a much more useful Carboni than I am.
Yeah, I know.
Huh.
I mean, how many people's lives has he saved with that tip?
And how many have I destroyed with my reckless behavior?
Speaking of which, we are out of here. We love you guys. Have a great weekend. We'll see you back here on Tuesday. Not you.
No.